paychecks to the government, after which the government would deduct what it deems as the appropriate tax payment for the employee bank transfer. And, of course, CNBC doesn't call this a police state. It's wonderful. The system would be run by the same organization, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, that has become notorious for its botched handling of data and incorrect tax calculations. They're always higher, it's not incorrect, which have forced people to spend months and even years trying to claim back unfairly claimed money seized by the taxman. But this story is about as far more than the threat of mere bureaucracy or bumbling incompetence. This is about the system exploiting the economic crisis it caused as a pretext to completely dominate and control our lives. This is about the state handing itself the power to arbitrarily raise taxes to a new level, any level it desires, and then automatically seize the money with no chance of redress or petition on behalf of the taxpayer. See, it's about not even giving you the choice. It's about you're a criminal, you're guilty, your check goes to the government, and then you're lucky if you get anything. Then they raise the taxes till you go bankrupt. Then you go on the dole. Now you're under government eugenics health care. Now they can phase you out with the death panels, and they can tell the government workers or people on government contracts, kill granny, you get 10 jobs. This is the post-industrial, deindustrialization system openly announced by the White House science czar and others. This is the global plan. This is what I have coined the term social cannibalism. What do you think Mao did, killing 80+ million people? The Chinese government states, our government 64 mil, they say. Whatever. The point is, this is what they do. This is their system. But this story is about far more than the threat of mere bureaucracy or bumbling incompetence. This is about the system exploiting the economic crisis it caused as a pretext to completely dominate and control our lives. This is about the state handing itself the power to arbitrarily raise taxes at any level it desires and then automatically seize the money with no chance of redress or petition on behalf of the taxpayer. And it's about a cashless society. Look, the government has said in the near future you will face scan, and they now are going in everywhere. It scans you from 8 to 10 feet with a laser. You don't even have to stop for it to scan your eyes. And if you haven't paid taxes, they're saying you won't be allowed to use your card or buy or sell. And we've already got banks harassing patriots and conservatives and libertarians for their purchases and what they're doing. This is a total nightmare grid. We have to respond by going more and more to a barter economy so these criminals can't have their way with us. Again, slave masters keep the slaves dependent. This is real. This is happening. This will happen here in the U.S. This is the worldwide plan. England's always the beta test. Allied to the proposal will be a new program that will force middle-class families to take government lie detector tests, that's a quote, which are notoriously unreliable and inadmissible in court, part of an intrusive tax investigations into their financial affairs. So now the government's going to come out with a mobile lie detector test, not when you're charged, but preemptively, worse than 1984. And now 500 mobile vans blasting your house with high-powered radiation in the U.S. They lie about everything. They're just completely and totally criminal. And for some reason, this is malfunctioning, and it just double printed the article. So I'm going to go to the article itself. I'm not the best newsreader reading from a distance, but I'll be able to do this. Let me go ahead and continue here. Allied to the proposal will be a new program that will force middle-class families to take government lie detector tests, which are notoriously unreliable and inadmissible in court as part of intrusive tax investigations into their financial affairs. Prime Minister David Cameron and his sidekick Nick Clegg's promise to deconstruct the Big Brother state in Britain has proven to be completely fraudulent. This is Big Brother on steroids, and it mimics a myriad of other programs on both sides of the pond that are being enforced as part of the same move towards total regulation and control over every aspect of our existence. We'll have to gauge how to properly shut down the economy, and if you've got a black market economy to survive, you're not totally under their control. So they've got to remove that. You can't have the rats finding a little piece of cheese here and there. Now let's continue. Local tax authorities such as Pennsylvania telling residents, we know where you live, and threatening to use satellite imaging technology to track them down for claiming back taxes. Remember that? So-called smart meters being introduced by law to allow utility companies and the government to regulate energy consumption remotely. First they lied and said they wouldn't do it. Now they admit they're doing it remotely. Government plans to dictate what kind of household appliances people are allowed to own and what kind of light bulbs they can use. Fees and restrictions on garage sales and any kind of independent, local, community-driven economic activity. Legislation aimed at preventing people from sharing, trading, or selling homegrown food as part of total Homeland Security takeover of all U.S. food and U.S. farms. Same thing's happening in Europe. The exact same system. Then by law, they won't allow you to know if GMO foods are in the stuff you buy at the store. Hardcore evil. And I couldn't even buy Big League Chew for my kids, you know, bubble gum, because it had aspartame now added. Every major sugar gum now with it added. Deadly brain damage. Every new assault the state launches against us is forced around increasing our dependence on Big Brother and making us destitute and unable to survive without welfare. People in the United Kingdom and the United States need to understand that their governments are malevolent and that their primary purpose is to obliterate the middle class by forcing them to become dependent on the state. This is war, folks, against you. As the cost of living soars, as tax hikes go through the roof, and as austerity fascism starts to bite, governments are now moving to prevent people from becoming self-sufficient, dashing the only hope of avoiding poverty for many. Allied with the march of green fascism, the economic crisis has been ruthlessly exploited by the elite to empower the state to wholly subjugate the people under the thumb of big government. Every step they take is about enriching themselves politically and financially while ensuring our only recourse is to beg for handouts in return for allowing ourselves to become slaves whose every action is controlled, cataloged, judged, and
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
When you hear the words water purification, what comes to mind? If it's Berkey Water Purification Systems, this message is for you. Did you know that over 60% of municipal water contains fluoride at less than 2 cents per gallon? Berkey water filters purify treated and untreated water, remove dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and contaminants from municipal water. These filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, making them perfect for rainwater collection systems. From the smallest to the largest systems, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has what you need. With your system purchase, you'll receive a shower filter, a fluoride filter, or 2 sport Berkey bottles absolutely free. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com would like to offer GCN listeners 5% off all ceramic filter systems and ship all orders over $50 free of charge. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY today.
Hounded by debt collectors with phone calls and letters? Thinking of calling a debt relief company? Don't. Greedy lawyers and debt companies charge thousands. Why pay when you can get their solution absolutely free with New York Times best-selling author Herb Kay's #1 debt secret, the how-to on stopping the calls without paying the debt companies. Yes, free for a very limited time. Here's Herb Kay.
Don't get ripped off by credit repair companies when I can give you the information you need to do it yourself for free.
Herb Kay was right. His free information helped me stop the calls and settle my debt.
What do you have to lose? Stop the calls now. Get out of debt and have more money. Get Herb Kay's #1 debt secret absolutely free now. Call 800-405-7850. That's 800-405-7850. 800-405-7850.
classical bondage with a high-tech overlay. And one of the most diabolical facets of this is the trillions of dollars spent on defense and security is now our economy. The majority of the new tuitions, the grants that are being funded in universities in the West and Japan as well are for data mining, are for spying, are for running naked body scanners, are for controlling this. And then the government funds globalist companies that we then buy these systems from. And so they're making it where the only jobs you'll be able to get is in the control grid, either in the prison or working basically in the gulags. It's so horrible. Meanwhile, the third world has had its development blocked by the IMF and World Bank as part of their official policy. They're starving to death, begging to come here. The globalists then bring them here to drive down wages. They get them on the political plantation to vote for more socialism, more handouts. And they're trying to fully convert the military over to majority foreigner. And they put out this idea that Americans don't want to work, only illegal aliens can do it. We've got to legalize them, give them free tuition, and then let them bring their families in. Here's Colin Powell promoting the new act that they are trying to attach the Immigration Act onto the defense budget that's set to be voted on as early as tomorrow. Here's that clip.
We have millions and millions of illegal immigrants in our country, undocumented individuals who are working, who are doing things we need done in this country. They're all over at my house doing things whenever I call for repairs, and I'm sure you've seen them at your house. We've got to find a way to bring these people out of the darkness and give them some kind of status. In the next few years, we will discover that between the ages of 15 and 64, the working ages of our people, most of those are going to be kept in that age group because of immigration and the children of immigrants. Whereas in other parts of the world, the age of the population is getting older and fewer people are working. So I'm telling you, and I'm telling all of my citizens around the country, is that immigration is what's keeping this country's lifeblood moving forward. They enrich our culture with every generation, and we have to find a way.
So he says, we're going to discover we don't have any children anymore because of liberalism, because of eugenics, because don't have a kid, it's horrible. Now, they won't let the third world develop. They block them through their official policies. Then they come here and turn us into a third world country. You understand that? And that's their program, that's their plan, that's their operation. And then they use these people as a weapon. And the DREAM Act is to make these people all members of the military. And I'm sorry, folks, you can see the statistics. The biggest recruiting centers for the military are not in the United States. They're in Eastern Europe, they're in the Philippines, they're in Mexico City. And this is the same British model of foreigners that can't even speak English ruling over us. You are the enemy. Remember in all the Homeland Security reports that have been leaked to us, it's focused on landowners, ranchers, farmers, business owners. They hate you. And the White House science czar has said they want a post-industrial United States. That is their goal. I know it's hard for people to believe and deal with, but it's the reality. We're going to go to break and come back and hit some more news in the first 5-minute segment. Then Max Keiser's coming on at 8 after, joining us from France. Should be a lively and interesting discussion on the economy and a lot more. We've got a special that's just running for a week or so more. You get a copy of the Obama Deception showing you the globalist master plan and how he's their puppet, as well as the Republicans. Such an important film for everybody. You get this film, 1995. Get Jesse Ventura with Dick Russell, American Conspiracies hardcover, $24.95 book. Absolutely free, but supplies are not going to last long. Infowars.com or 888-253-3139. And your purchase supports the broadcast.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh and made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new